Hey everybody, it's Jax again from the Popcorn Review Podcast. Today's gonna be my episode 77, AEW Dynamite before Dynasty. Well, guys, let's get into it. I honestly want to start off by saying my boy Kyle Fletcher. Oh man, it sucks. You have to relinquish your title. Um, I'm very high on you. I think your look is good. Your custom belt is good. Your gimmick is good. It sucks and it's very unfortunate that you got injured. I hope and pray that you come back stronger than ever. Kyle Fletcher sucks. Kyle Fletcher, the proto star, is out. There are going to have a casino gauntlet match to see who's going to be the champion. It's going to be at Dynasty. Um, Sucks again, Kyle Fletcher. Sucks that you're going to be out. Hopefully you come back and stronger than ever, like I mentioned, do your thing and take over AEW once again. Um, but let's get into it. Like I mentioned, the show started off with Will Ospreay hunting down Jon Moxley. He got the better hand of Jon Moxley to start off, but unfortunately, it was 6-1 with the entire Death Rider crew. They started beating him down for a little bit. All of a sudden, you hear some tire screeching. He turns back. You see his wifey there, Alex Windsor, with the United Empire. So it is still a little bit underwhelming. They're one person short, but at least it's 5-on-6, better odds if anything. They just brawl. They brawl from the back of the parking lot. They brawl into the arena, into the ring. Just there's a complete massacre. All you see is United Empire at the end of it, all said and done, standing tall and saying, "Hey, we'll see you at the main event of tonight of Dynamite. It's going to be the United Empire versus the Death Riders." Now, I personally thought you were going to have the women involved, but we'll get to that later on. Um, you did have a couple matches, honestly. You had Queen Amanada returning versus Willow Nightingale. Decent match, honestly. They went to shake hands to start off, and Amanada just took it to her. I think they said this is the 7th time now Willow has defended it in 90 days, which is nice to see. A lot of the times we have wrestlers hold on to titles and not do anything. They'll get put in tag teams or trios and they won't be defending, almost like they're hiding their champion. Even though Willow's not the high flyer type or the flashy type of wrestler, she's getting it done. She's doing her thing in the ring. Her and Queen Amanada look good in the ring together. Um, Nice to see her back. I forgot what she was injured for, but they said she was out for almost a full year. So, or 9 months, if I'm not mistaken, but still nice to see her back. One thing from this match. So again, Willow did her thing. She defended her title. This is her 7th title defense now. But you did see Sheeta there, and it was just kind of weird. Like, what is she doing? Why is she watching? Is she that upset that she lost, that she has to watch their match? Like, that was just a little odd to me. It's like she's still pissed off from the loss. But we'll go from there. We'll see how it happens, guys. Honestly, you did have Jericho there. Jericho came out, and again, they're in Canada. He was getting the cheers. People were saying, "Welcome back," all that. Um, and then he says, "Hey, I might sign my contract. I haven't signed yet," which I thought was odd. He said he hasn't signed yet. So I was wondering, is this still part of the April Fool's joke that they played on everybody? But no. He starts to say he's going to sign his contract next week. He's interrupted by the demand in Ricochet. And it was really weird personally. You saw Ricochet come out with a demand, but Jericho had like a clipboard and he said he was going to sign. And then he was like, what's also part of this contract, that I get to pick anybody I want to face at Dynasty. And you know what, Ricochet, you just made the list. And he clicks his pen and signs it. So I'm surprised he used an older gimmick. I wonder if WWE is going to say anything about it, because I think they do hold proprietary things when things happen in WWE, but we'll see. Maybe they talked it out and were able to do it. But you are going to have Chris Jericho versus Ricochet for a return match at Dynasty. Don't know if it's going to be during Zero Hour, but I will say Jericho did say he doesn't care if he's at the top of the card, the bottom of the card, or the middle of the card. He is there in AEW to make it better and stronger than it ever was. Nicely said, Jericho. Nicely said. Um, but honestly, we'll see. I don't think I've ever seen these two together in the ring. So Jericho is a little bit older, but Ricochet is still a good seller, still a high flyer. So it's going to be a decent match together. But we'll see, guys. Um, you had the Don Callis family with Andrade, Mark Davis, and I forgot the other individual. Oh, Takeshita. Sorry, how can you forget Takeshita? Versus Darby Allin, Bandito, and Jack Perry. This match was actually decent. You did have Andrade kind of hiding from Darby throughout the match. At one point, he even tried to leave, and he actually left the ringside. He was like, "Man, y'all take care of this." And Darby gets on the mic and goes, "Hey, stop being a little Don Callis bitch and come out here and face me." And Andrade actually comes out, but gets attacked by Mark Davis. Mark Davis is an absolute beast, man. Like, he makes Darby look like a rag doll every time he faces it. I mean, this dude's got to be close to 300-pound plus, and he's got to be like 6'2" and higher, or taller rather. Um, but I will say this match was pretty good. Bandito was doing his thing. You had Mark Davis doing his thing. At one point, Mark Davis whooping everybody's ass. But you did have Andrade kind of pose with the crowd, with the girls or the models, whatever it was, taking selfies. And then he kind of takes the, not the low blow, but he kind of takes he lets Mark Davis pretty much do everything and then takes the pin. Um, so they are triumphant, the Doncast family, even though with the news of losing Kyle Fletcher for a few months or possibly the rest of the year, they are triumphant. Um, and it's like all hell broke loose. So they're beating down on, Darby and them. Then you have the Young Bucks come out, try to help out. They actually do okay. But then more of the Don Callis family, they got like 15 dudes on that roster. So of course they got more people than everybody. But then the Rascals come out. And on top of the Rascals coming out, you also had Okada come out and kind of help. But Okada and Takeshita finally got into it in the center of the ring. So it definitely breaking down. I can't wait to see those two guys go at it. Honestly, I'm so excited for that match. I will say later on in the day, you did have Don Callis with the entire family pretty much saying, "Hey, I need you two guys to beat the Bucks at Dynasty. So it's gonna be Okada and Takeshita, and we need this done. So y'all better just piece it up and do it." And Takeshi was like, "Nah, I don't want this shit. Like, yo, I don't want this." And he's like, "What you mean? I'm the coach of this team. You gonna do what I say." He was like, "I only do it if I get a shot at his title." Yes, about fucking time. I mean, shit, they did say it's gonna be at Double or Nothing. I don't even care if the Bucks win or lose. I just want to see those two guys go at it. And Takeshita either takes the title or he finally sees where the Don Callis family definitely does not have his back. So it's going to be either Takeshita wins or the family's going to turn his back and cause Takeshita to lose and him breaking off finally from the family. Again, y'all let me know what y'all think, but I'm happy to see these two guys go at it. We already know Takeshita can go. Okada can go sometimes. I'm hoping he shows a little bit better in this match, but let's fucking go. Takeshita versus Okada at Double or Nothing for the championship, guys. Whew, can't wait to see it. You also had Champa versus Mascara El Dorada. And this was to see who's going to be the number one entry for the battle, for the Casino Battle Royal for the TNT Championship. It was actually a pretty good match. Um, I would say Ciampa's more of the ground and pound, and Dorada, of course, is the high flyer in this situation. But they actually did well together. There was a couple slowdowns here and there, but I would also say you had kind of like Ciampa kind of assessed with the title. He kept looking at it. It wasn't the pink belt that Kyle Fletcher had. It was more that the standard black belt, and he just kept looking at it like he was obsessed with it, almost like Smeagol in The Ring or the Lord of the Rings talking about like my precious. That's the vibe I got from him. But Ciampa wins, and he ends up taking the number one spot. They did say that that is um, a definite plus to win. If you're the first two people, you have a better chance of winning than having more people come in. So we'll see. Would it be a short match, or is Ciampa going to run the gauntlet and beat everybody to get Sylvie back? You guys let me know what y'all think. Um, You did have Adam Copeland and Christian Cage come out. They were pretty much saying that CNC is going to dominate. They are going to take pretty much end the careers of FTR, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna take them, and they were just talking shit. And then out of nowhere, fucking Cage goes, "Yeah, you know, um, I visited your mother's, and if you know what I mean, I slept with both of them, like just digging on them." And he has said, "Don't worry, Stokely. I didn't forget about your mom, but the only difference is when I go see your mom, I'm going to be one half of the AEW Tag Champions." I definitely see this playing into Copeland and Christian Cage winning. I think it's a long time coming. We wanted to see them as tag champs for a while. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I definitely see them being FTR. But during that segment, you did have FTR come out with Stokely. And the crazy thing is, they actually got attacked by Trent Beretta and Rocky Moreno. And the four of them, or the five of them, I should say, with Stokely just beat down on FTR. And you even had Stokely spear Christian and then act as if he was Copeland, like mocking him almost. So Stokely, you're gonna have to like watch your back on that. You got your days are numbered. I definitely see you taking a spear or unprettier or kill switch, whatever the case is at Dynasty. Stokely, I definitely see you taking an L, and I do see FTR losing this match. I'd be surprised if they don't, but we'll see what happens, guys. Y'all let me know in the comments. So for the main event of the night, like I mentioned at the beginning of the day, is going to be United Empire versus the Death Riders. Yo, this match was insane. And I don't know everybody from the United Empire. I know they said that the main guy is I think they said he was Will Ospreay's like protege, and he is the youngest IWGP world champion ever. I think they said he's like 24, 25 years old. He's one of the youngest. He looks young just by staring at him. But those guys were insane. They had their own powerhouse in Harisha. If I said that wrong, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Um, but he had his faces tattooed. He had like kind of like I guess it's like a reverse mullet. His entire head was shaved. He just had the fluffy hair on the back. I honestly don't know the haircut. But him and Claudio were going at it, putting each other through chairs. They did say this was going to be chaos in Canada. So we assumed it was going to be a hardcore match. And that's exactly what it is. They had ladders, they had chairs. Um, they had everything on this match. Honestly, at one point they tried to put Danny Garcia through the table. It didn't work. The one guy got on the top rope and slammed on him again. Still didn't break the fucking table. But I thought he injured himself. Like his arm went into the ground really hard. So it's possible he could have a wrist injury. Hopefully not. But in all saying, guys, this match, the United Empire shows up, does their thing. But I will say, are they really here to help? Or are they going to turn on Will Ospreay? Now, I know people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Well, what I'm saying is, even though they helped Will Ospreay, especially in the beginning, they looked like they were like a John Wick kind of vibe with it was like the five of them versus the six of them. It was almost like John Wick and his assassins gonna beat up some street level thugs. That's what I got from it. But when they were in the ring, they didn't seem like they were too, especially his protege. He didn't seem like he was too happy to be there. So I don't know if this was forced upon him to be there to make the appearance for AEW, or is he trying to break himself away from being under the shadow of Will Ospreay like Kyle Fletcher did? I mean, if you turn on him, it could be Will versus him at Forbidden Door. And again, I'm just throwing things out there. I don't know too much of the United Empire. I don't know if that's the case, or that's just the vibe that I got. Just y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But just a crazy match. They were going back and forth. And I just cannot believe how crazy this match was. Like I said, Claudio was doing his thing. Danny was being a little bitch, kind of like stepping on somebody's back and dancing and taking off his jacket. Mox was going nuts. You did have Alex Windsor come out for a little bit. Like I mentioned, the girls did show up. I thought the girls were going to be like, it was going to be 5-on-5 type of deal. That wasn't the case, though. I think it was like 4-on-4, or was it? Yeah, 4-on-4. Who else? Yuta wasn't in it. I don't think. I think Yuta's on the side on the sideline. He did get involved, but Yuta wasn't in it. But crazy match. Like I just cannot believe that got put together like in a couple weeks. You know, he flew to Japan. He said he needed help. He flew to Japan, got some help, came back, boom. Like they didn't even announce the match. Like I was saying that to myself before Dynamite started. I'm like, damn, they only announced 2 matches for tonight. What the fuck is going on? You know, like last week they announced like 4 or 5 matches, and then they said the main event was MJF versus Speedball. So I get that. But this week it was like 2 matches. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like they're not even talking about the matches, who's doing what. But I digress. The United Empire stands strong, and you did see them kind of like scurrying off at the end of the match. So intense match. I highly recommend if you have HBO Max, just go back and watch it. This episode was insane. You did have Kenny Omega come out. He's going to speak on what happened the week prior or about MJF. He came out in a suit, and a lot of people online are saying, hey, it's about time he wore a suit out of his gym rags. To be honest with you, he looked weird in that suit. And I'm not trying to talk down about Kenny Omega or anything. I don't feel like the suit fits him. You know, I don't feel like that was himself. I think he was kind of put into the suit. Even his tie was like to the side. You can tell like he either didn't give a shit or he didn't like the way he looked in it. Again, a lot of people are like, oh, he looked great in the suit. I personally don't. I think him being himself with some gym shorts and a Kenny Omega t-shirt or his Kenny Omega jacket is perfectly fine. Not everybody has to be in a suit. Um, Even in WWE, they don't all wear suits. MJF wears a suit because he's the bad guy. I understand that's his gimmick, but Kenny Omega, it looked weird. Personally, you got your point across, but it just looked weird. And again, I'm not trying to make fun of nobody, but it just looked weird to me. Um, but Kenny starts talking, and honestly, he keeps saying that the God is going to have to take down the devil, and it's pretty much the God of pro wrestling versus the devil of pro wrestling. And I don't know if that's how they're going to portray it, but honestly, it is going to be one hell of a match. I'm a little scared personally. I don't know if Kenny Omega is going to win. I personally feel like the run that MJF is on is just going to be taking down opponents that he hasn't wrestled lately or hasn't wrestled ever. Like I said, he's wrestled Joe, he's wrestled Brody, he's wrestled Swerve, he's wrestled Kevin Knight, he's wrestled Speedball, he's wrestled Andrade, and now he's about to wrestle Kenny Omega. His run right now is fucking insane. He's beating top tier talent. Like he told Brody, go beat some top tier talent, then come talk to me. That's what MJF is doing. He's beating top tier talent. He's beating former AEW world champions. You know, he's beating trios champions. He's beating former TNT champions. Like, I don't know what else he's got to do to prove that he's the man. Yes, MJF is an asshole, but MJF run right now is insane. Well, MJF does interrupt Kenny Omega, starts talking shit like normal, like you dumb people in Canada, you know, same old, same old. And Kenny goes, you know what? Before we end today, let's shake hands. We're both going to be on neutral ground. Let's shake hands before the pay-per-view. Just let's show that respect to each other. And he goes, just puts his hand out. MJF looks at him, walks off, tries to like either kick him in the balls or, you know, clothesline him. Kenny ducks it, hits him with the knee, says, Max, I knew this was coming. You are so predictable. I've been studying you for months. And just know that I saw this coming. And then he takes his ring off and he puts it on his pinky finger and goes, this is going to be a good one. And pretty much, again, just that good night bang, but he's got it on his pinky. Kind of looked like Dr. Evil, like that to me anyway. But it's going to be one hell of a match. I don't know if Kenny Omega is going to win it. I hope he does, because if this is his last run, it'd be nice for him to go out on top. But at the same time, I don't know if it happens. What do y'all think? Do you think Kenny Omega takes this one because it's his last run? Or does MJF go on his historic run beating everybody in AEW? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.